Namaskar. You are requested to please attend the program and subscribe to channel. Please like this program and share it to your friends. Of course, we expect some comments from your side that will direct us to choose, that will help us to choose a topic of discussion, that will suggest us the topic of this discussion which actually you want. So actually, this is not required to be a one-side media, but this is the beauty of this program. Beauty of such facility is that it can be made under it can be taken as a both-side communication. So of course, the direct and indirect communication is there. We are not going to discuss on the mode of communication, but yes, indirect and direct communication will be there. You can write your opinion, you can raise your question, you can oppose us, we can protest us with a civilized language, and you can make your point of opinion. So that will help us to run the channel as per the norms, as per the requirements of our time. So and it will help. It will be very helpful to us to arrange our programs, our topics, and etc. You all will be able to understand what I am asking for. So friends, now what is going around us? There is a peculiar kind of democratic situation in our country. Repeatedly, we are underlining all the situation, what is going around in our country. Of course, that may be understood at the macro level, at the global level. Of course, we are at the channel of the public global. This is not the channel that requires the public national. This is public global. So we have some points, some understanding of public situation, of the global situation, or the public situation in a globalized manner. After the globalization, things were changed very sharply, and it was steered from a point of power somewhere in America, somewhere in the and the other countries also, in the groups of the countries, and they decided. Of course, it was there was a sense of market, and the power of the market was performing behind this kind of globalization. But the political bosses were also very alert, and they have decided to adopt the theory of the theory of the globalization schemes, even in the economic sector, and the financial movements, and the industrial situation. But it was for only the marketing. The marketing economy was there. So manufacturing was tried to be centralized from something, and the trade surplus was there. So India also had followed that kind of economy, that was compelled to follow it, and not only compelled but also desirous to accept it, because there was a new window of development was there, and the new window for the betterment of the public aspiration, betterment of the public life in general, and for economic upliftment of the people was there. The chances were there, the potentialities were there, which were required to be tapped. So tapping of the potentials was there. So of course there was some kind of contradictions also in the global economic process at that time also, and many of us have warned that this may harm the national interest also in the long term, and not only the national interest but the interest of the human beings. The democracy, and at that time it has been called that the simple democracy is now over, and the liberal democracy is emerging in the world, and that democracy will treat everything as an approach of liberal democracy. And the America, the Ronald Reagan at that time, and the Margaret Thatcher was calling it the liberal democracy, the age of the liberal democracy, and the liberalization and privatization and globalization starts with the concept of the liberal democracy, where it was committed that government has no business in the business. Government has no business in the business. So market is open, and the invisible market will control the public life, the public activity. And it was not clearly understood at that time when we are talking about the public activities and political activities also included in that public activity. So slowly, the situation came here that market started to control the state authority also, and the political authority also, the political processes also was under control of the marketing, and they have the direct or indirect control over the marketing process, the political process, and the formation of government was to be becoming under the control of the capitalists also. And at that time it was started like anything, and the serious problems started in the state structure itself, that is being called today as a deep structure, the deep state, the problem of the deep state, and everywhere the deep state. Deep state means those who are not directly responsible or identified to be responsible for the public affairs in the democratic structure. Those who are not directly responsible, but they have been provided the access to use the power according to their choices. So that is being called as deep state. In brief, what I am telling here, not I'm trying to define in a classical manner, but what the deep state actually do, and that time itself, when the Bharatiya Janata Party came with a full stream and the power in a particular political situation in our country, the RSS worked start, the functioning start like a deep state. Because RSS is not responsible for any public affair, the public grievances or the public demand. RSS is just an organization. He doesn't deserve to have so kind of access. But of course, that access has been provided to RSS, and that is not visible for many things. How it has been done? It has been done at the various points of decision, the power points, and the person, the post, the situation where it matters, the policy decision. The mindset has been applied for that, and it has been done very meticulously. And it is not. It can be understood, but it cannot be empirically established or anything. But what the people are feeling like that, the RSS is controlling everything, having every control of power within their grips. So that is there. So anyhow, that has been developed. The quality of democracy is started to be eroded in our country. Yes, the absolute democracy or the idealistic approach towards democracy may lead us in such a utopian thought where the political reality cannot be avoided. But such kind of the idealistic approach towards democracy may lead us in such a situation where nothing will be in our hand, and the only frustration will be in our part. In frustration will be there, and so that is not the case. But it is also that the democracy, the quality of democracy, and the continuity of the democratic values in the system has been affected by anything. Now the Election Commission and the different constitutional agencies are practicing such a thing which is not as per the spirit of the democratic sense. So there are so many cases in that environment. The SIR, when in the West Bengal, is also in the full swimming. It is getting speed in West Bengal also, and the Bihar. The SIR completed, though the legal pendencies may be there or may not be there. That is infectious now. So, but in the Bihar, the SIR completed, and the one phase of election is there also has been completed. And in the Bihar, the peculiar thing is that in Bihar, in economic structure, Bihar position is not very good in this situation. The per capita income is also not like that. The industrial base and the infrastructural situation of Bihar is not also saying that the intervention or the interest of the corporate sector is not effectively present in Bihar. But The interference in the Bihar political structure is also there, and this is the one of the most important contradiction in the Bihar politics. When corporates are not involved in Bihar economic affairs, but they are trying to have a control of Bihar also. They are trying to have the control on the power of Bihar, on the government of Bihar, and nowadays what is having there. So there are so many things are there, but we are also, as a Bihar, also expect some kind of industrial arrangement, some kind of employment generation scheme is there, and the different segment of the political party and the stakeholders of the democracy, they are just promising anything that some has been started to push the money in the name of direct benefit transfer, DBT. They are trying to push the money, and they have done it. And only this looks like a purchasing of the voters' attitude. It is a case of the vote purchasing and nothing more. And some sky level scheme is also there. The high raised voice that employment will be provided to every such kind of family where the no government employment is there. So in that family, the one kind of government employment can be provided. Where be clear in which family there is no government employed person. And the design and draft of the craft of the employment may differ. What we experienced in the earlier days of this century, that kind of employment may not be there. The career approach may not be there, but some kind of empowerment and the new seems and in the new environment, some kind of government caring will be there, and the flow of income will be allowed to be passed through the person, the situation, the families where the regular flow of income is not there. So sometimes they are promising like that, but the main point is here only to understand that the first phase of Bihar election has been completed a few days ago, and the last and the second phase of the election in Bihar Assembly Election 2025 is programmed, will be held in 11th of this month, and on 14th of this month only the result will be published. Now the speculation is very high because the high percentage of voters turnout is being marked by everybody, and even such responsible person are also saying that the high percentage of voting is indicating something more importantly. But here we are ignoring the situation of the denominators, because the percentage have increased due to one effect is also because the size of denominator is decreased. If I purchase, if I am having the 100 income in my monthly income in my pocket, and if I am expending 50 rupees for vegetables, then I may claim that I am expending 50% of my income to my vegetable purchasing situation. But if I am having the 200 monthly income in my hand, the denominator is 200, and then I say that I am expenditure of 50 rupees. Then the percentage will become only 25%. Because the only having without any sense of denominators, the percentage cannot be there very indicative, and percentage cannot make any understanding for any understanding to have some conclusion regarding the discussion. So regarding the speculation, that will not work. So because the absolute numbers are very much important, we are aware that the total voter numbers of the Bihar Assembly election has been decreased substantially, and it has been raised very with a hue and cry in the public affair that the SIR is nothing but the opposition party, and mainly the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has named it as a vote chori, and the vote chori. And there was a very much movement, but of course, the public has accepted this is being done. Somehow the election process is being compromised and being taken being taken in such a mode that to favor a the particular party or the party which is in power. So, and that is the public perception, and the election commission has not tried effectively to displace such kind of public perception. They are very sure that what they are doing correct. They never, when the Rahul Gandhi is saying something, the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is saying something, claiming something in place in public, that is not saying anything to election commission. He is not making any appeal to them, but he is putting the situation in the public. So election commission must have some sense of recognition, some sense of responsibility that they take what is the LOP is telling to the people. If there is anything with the misunderstanding is there, and that must be removed, that election commission must try to remove it. Election commission cannot blame or claim that a leader of opposition is doing politics. Yes, because the political party is only made for doing the politics. So election commission is not made for doing the politics. So election commission cannot say, as because they are doing some politics, so we will not do, we will also do the politics. No. So this is not permissible, because you are the honorable constitutional position you are having, and your duty is to provide a free and fair election system and provide a level playing field. You are committed for that. You have been constituted for that. And our ancestors, the Purkhas, have so much of faith on the election commission that they have given the full power to decide the voting process, and they have. So that degree of trust must be maintained. And you cannot say simply. You have to, when they are saying it is being done, you must provide some effective proof. That is not the correct situation. And there are many things. And now the main situation is now the Bihar election is there. The second phase of Bihar election will be there. The high percent is being analyzed and speculated in a different manner. Some groups of intellectuals are telling that the higher position of the percentage of the turnout of the voters and the vote casted, and that is indicating the change of the guard. And some are telling, no, this is not the change of the guard, and a person, and some group of the intellectuals are saying, no. The percentage of casted voting process pattern will not confirm will not provide any kind of conclusion or indication that what kind of result is going to be there. So that is there. So everybody is interpreting and speculating according to their choices and their experiences. And I hope, and we must take it, that nobody is doing this with a malified intention itself. So everybody is having the pious intention, but the conclusions are different, and even at the time of the contradiction, full of the contradictions. Though the intention is full of pious, not that is, those are not. And those intentions cannot be named as a malified. Anyway, so now the election will be there, but after the result of the Bihar election, it will be going to give a curve. It will it will provide a curve to the democratic road, to a democratic path. And after that, the democratic sense and democratic pragmatism will get a new kind of directions in our country, in our structural position, and in our public right, and even our constitutional requirements will have to be understood in a separate manner, in a different manner, and that will be in the new manner. So what is going in that condition is very much difficult to analyze and speculate without your assistance. The public must have some open eye, keep a close eye, to all the situations, all the developments being taken place, and the politics and the power game of the politics. We must understand that, and we try to understand our time and our situation, what is going to be there, and for next generation. Some are trying to name their as a Gen Z or the Gen Alpha, and whatever the generation may be. So, what kind of India is we are going to live for them, and we must have some concern about that, and we must discuss on that, and we must opine on all those programs. So, friend, now today is thank you very much with a request. Thank you for very much. Thank you very much with a request that please like the program and subscribe the channel and share it to your friends. Thank you very much.